On behalf of the U.S. Green Building Council, Missouri Gateway Chapter, thank you for signing up to participate as a mentor in the Green Schools Quest. My name is Hope Gribble. I'm the Education and Green Schools Manager for the chapter, and I manage the Green Schools Quest program with the assistance of our volunteer-based Green Schools Committee. If you have any questions throughout the school year, I'm your go-to person. My contact information is listed here and also included on any email communications you've received from me. The purpose of this training is to provide you with a clear understanding of the Green Schools Quest, to acquaint you with the available resources, timeline, and responsibilities, to highlight changes and new elements that were introduced this year, to introduce the broader scope of statewide and national Green Schools initiative that this program relates to, and to share best practices and examples. Once this training video concludes, we ask that you take 15 minutes or so to view some of the final submission materials from past participants. This will help acquaint you with the type of materials your school should work on preparing throughout the course of the project. So let's dive in. Before we get into the real specifics of the Green Schools Quest, let's take a quick look at the context of Green Schools and why USGBC Missouri Gateway launched the Green Schools Quest. First, we feel it's important to note that 25% of our nation's population goes to school every day as students, faculty, or staff at a K-12 or school or a college or university. With such a large number of people who are affected by the condition of our school buildings and the learning that takes place within, we want to improve these environments so that they are healthier to inhabit and less taxing on the environment and pocketbook. Additionally, we want to empower the youth to create positive changes in their learning environments, their lives, and the broader world. And we want to support them in doing so. All of this with the understanding that the experience and knowledge gained will have a ripple effect as students then influence their families and friends. While we consider the large number of schools, it's important to also acknowledge that every school is unique. Missouri and Southern Illinois have an abundance of K-12 schools, each with their own unique priorities, needs, desires, and resources. Luckily, sustainability is broad yet tangible. It doesn't matter what the starting point is, doesn't matter where a school is within that sustainability spectrum. Every school and every person can make meaningful changes and take meaningful action to advance sustainability in their own learning environments and community. To make progress, it's helpful to not only know your starting point, but also to have a vision for an end goal. So what are we talking about when we use the term green schools? These three areas or pillows that are illuminated here are becoming the common definition for green schools that are being used across the nation. They lay the foundation for a national as well as a statewide green schools recognition program, which we'll be touching upon later in the training. So ultimately, green schools strive to achieve reduced environmental impact and costs, improved health and wellness of students and staff, and effective environmental and sustainability education. These areas are brought to life through schools' physical place, the school buildings and grounds themselves, educational programming, and organizational culture. Green Schools Quest projects aim to integrate as many of these facets as possible through a project-based, student-driven challenge. USGBC Missouri Gateway is a 501c3 nonprofit charitable organization, and our work is aligned with the mission and goals of the National U.S. Green Building Council. At the national level, USGBC launched the National Green Schools Campaign alongside partners at the 2007 Clinton Global Initiative, committing to a vision of green schools for every child. After listening to and learning from leaders across the country, USGBC then founded the Center for Green Schools in 2010, broadening its foundational work in the green building movement to encompass topics and issues important to schools and the people within them every day, the teachers, students, staff, and parents. USGBC Missouri Gateway Chapter has been working locally to advance these efforts since 2008 through a wide range of initiatives. One of those initiatives is our Green Schools Quest. So now let's dig into the specifics of the Green Schools Quest. This program was launched in 2013 as a project-based challenge and actively supports work towards creating a sustainable future, one project at a time. Each school year, the challenge is issued to all K-12 schools to implement a no or low-cost sustainability project over a 6-month period of time with the help of a local professional who serves as a volunteer mentor. So in addition to empowering students and communities to be good stewards of their own environments, this program also facilitates a connection between the green building and sustainability-related professional community and younger generations. This could not be accomplished without the dedication and passion that you and each of your fellow volunteers bring to the program. We sincerely thank you for working with us to make every school a green school. The Green Schools Quest is open to all schools within our chapter's territory, which includes the majority of the state of Missouri as well as southern Illinois. We've established a number of goals, which are illustrated here and also on our website. Because each project is unique, each project will be establishing and achieving its own goals. Maybe possibly one or multiple of these. Regardless, we believe that collectively we will be making an impact in each of these areas. This program is supported by our annual Green School sponsors, our 2019-20 Green Schools Champions, our Ameren, Missouri, and St. Louis County Department of Public Health. Our Green School supporters are the Innovative Technology Education Fund and TRAIN. And additional support is provided by the St. Louis Jefferson Solid Waste Management District and Missouri Department of Natural Resources. We sincerely appreciate their support and the opportunity for us to be able to pass along cash awards and trophies to each of the winning teams. We are entering the 7th year of the program and have been delighted with continued growth. Since the launch of the program in 2013, we've had over 140 unique schools participate, many for multiple years. Each year, participants from both public and independent schools participate, with an average of 75% submitting their final documentation detailing their projects at the conclusion. Projects run the gamut, though we do typically see a lot of waste diversion and site-related efforts. When zeroing in on a specific project, schools have the flexibility to implement projects that fit their own unique needs and interests. Some of the schools enter the challenge with a specific project in mind, and others do not. All right, let's look at the mentor responsibilities. First, we ask that our mentors provide sustainability expertise and guidance at their assigned school. Precise areas of what might be considered technical expertise are of course unique to each mentor. In some cases, the school may choose a project that's right in line with your area of technical expertise. In other cases, they may choose a project outside of your technical wheelhouse, in which case your contributions may be more along the lines of project management, making sure the team is aware of the timeline and structure of the Green Schools Quest. When a project does not align exactly with your area of expertise, this is also a great opportunity for you to investigate what other resources and organizations exist in the community that may be able to help with the endeavor and then help connect the school to these resources. Second, commit to a minimum of 4 to 6 hours per month of personal time mentoring the assigned school, beginning in October and ending mid-March. We've surveyed our past mentors and asked them how much time they spent working with their schools for this project, and the average was around 5 hours per month. So you may spend a little more, a little less, but we wanted to give you some ballpark figure so that you have that in mind. We do ask that you meet with your school team at least twice per month. This is again a ballpark figure. Considering the program takes place over roughly 5.5 months, touching base and meeting in person with the school twice per month seems to be a reasonable amount of time to keep the project moving along. Again, this can be adjusted based upon your individual team, project, and schedule. Help students and their team sponsor green their schools at little or no cost. So there will be one minimum of one adult representative from each school that will assist as the school team sponsor. This is typically a faculty member, but it could be an administrator or a parent. Please notice also the second component of this bullet point, that you're helping the school to green their school at little or no cost. For this initiative, we've identified low cost as $250 or less, contributed by the school. The school is not required to contribute any money towards this project, and our organization will not be contributing any money towards the project. However, if the school decides they would like to put money directly towards this, we're simply establishing a $250 cap. Now that does not keep your team from pursuing additional donations, grant funding, or any other type of outside source of funding. Our aim with this component is really twofold. We want to level the playing field between all of the participating schools, and we also want to showcase that you can do a lot within a school for little or no cost. Next, you'll be providing guidance on project selection, execution, establishment of metrics, and recording impact. The key word being guidance. This again is individual for each team. It's very important to discuss this with the school sponsor, identify who will own each of the different components of the project, who will be the driving force, what will the division of labor be. Likely, students, mentor, and sponsor will each play a role in every component, but to what degree, and when recording impact, who will be documenting this along the way? Who's taking the photos or capturing videos? You want to be able to tell a story when you're putting together your final documentation, and in order to tell that story, it's very helpful to have some images from the very beginning stages as well as throughout the process and the end. We have developed a short, roughly 20-minute presentation and activity that we offer as an optional resource for our mentors to deliver to their schools. It explores the concept of what a green building is and then shows 5 different areas of the school, such as the cafeteria, classroom, school office, school grounds, etc. Then students are asked to think about green practices that could take place in each of these specific areas of the school. Again, this is completely optional, but it can be helpful in exploring different project ideas. And if you have any questions about that at all, please feel free to reach out to me. Submit progress reports via a quick online survey twice during the course of the Green Schools Quest. I'll be checking in with you throughout the program via email, but I only require that you provide feedback to me twice during the process via a quick survey. Our goal is really just to make sure things are running smoothly and see if you have any questions. Though I, of course, encourage you to contact me at any time with questions or feedback. Assist with documentation and preparation of final submission. Because our age ranges vary so much within the participant structure, from early childhood all the way through high school, this will really vary with each school. We, of course, would not expect an early childhood student to be preparing the final documentation. However, it would be reasonable for a middle or high school student to be doing that documentation and preparing the final submission materials. We encourage you to involve the students as much as possible in all components. Again, this is an item for you to discuss with your school team sponsor early on. Lastly, we ask that all of our mentors be members of USGBC Missouri Gateway Chapter. We do have memberships ranging from the $35 community supporter level through the $150 contributor level. If you're not currently a member, I will be in touch very soon to help get you squared away. Each year follows a similar time frame. The current program schedule is posted on our website. Please take a look and populate your calendars with any important dates. Note the timing of the conclusion of the quest is March 15th this year, and our annual event where the winners will be announced is April 15th this year. After winners are announced at that event, members of our Green Schools Committee and Board of Directors will visit each of the winning schools to present their awards in the way that they prefer, whether that be at a school assembly or a school board meeting or even an after-school club. Once school registration has closed, we begin identifying pairings for participating schools and mentors. Our school application asks schools to outline the project they're interested in pursuing, and if they do not have a specific project in mind, we do ask them to identify a couple of areas of interest. The mentor application asks mentors to identify any preferences regarding age group, location, and project type. We utilize this information to pair our schools and mentors. We have been very pleased with the way the pairings have come out over the years, and we certainly hope that you are pleased as well. Here's a brief overview of the next 6 months. You will also receive an electronic version of a milestone schedule that expands upon each of these months. But for now, we'll take a brief look at the higher level. In October, you'll be meeting with your school team and identifying the project. In November, you'll be refining your project and establishing metrics. This is a mentor check-in point when I'll send you an electronic survey. In December, your focus will be on securing resources, engaging in the project, and beginning documentation. If perhaps your school already has a project in mind when you're entering in October, you may be engaging in the project and doing some of these December tasks as early as October. But if they did not have an idea entering in, December is the point that really you want to just keep on track, make sure that in order to finish up by March, that the team really is moving forward on engaging in the project at this point and beginning their documentation. We also host 2 mentor meetups during the year. They are not noted on the slide, but they do take place typically in December and February. These are opportunities that are optional for mentors to come together and share a little story about what the project they've been working on is. If they have any challenges they're up against, it's a great time to communicate those, and then fellow mentors can talk you through and brainstorm some resources. So we typically have between 5 and 20 mentors that will attend those meetups, and it's a really fun opportunity to hear about how things are moving along at the other schools. In January, you will continue with the project and documentation. This is another mentor check-in point. In February, you'll continue with the project, and that will be that second mentor meetup. In March, you'll be finalizing and submitting your final documentation. I'd like to go into a bit more detail for the month of October because it's a time period in which you really will be setting yourself up for success. This is when you will have your first meeting with the school, establish a timeline, and kickstart your project. We recommend setting up that first visit with a teacher and school sponsor immediately. So as soon as you receive the email, which goes out the first week of October, you'll want to fairly soon afterwards be in touch with the school to get a meeting on your and the school's calendar. We do recommend that initial meeting be solely between you and the team sponsor, not involving the students quite yet. just as an opportunity to allow you and the sponsor to get on the same page, get a little bit of background information about anything they've been working on up to that point, go over the program timeline and resources, and just connect on a game plan for how you will involve the students in deciding what project and the course of action from there on out. It's great if you're able to also meet with the students in October. It's a nice opportunity to pull out your calendar, the school calendar, maybe map out some future meeting dates, and get that first meeting with the students in that month as well, if possible. To assist schools and mentors, we provide a variety of resources, such as the 101 Ways to Green Your School document pictured here, as well as an outline of the evaluation criteria, list of community resources that may be helpful, and all of these resources are available on our website by visiting usgbc-mogateway.org and selecting Green Schools Quest under the Community tab. In addition to the website, they are in a Google Drive folder, and also linked to from the welcome letter that you receive when you're being paired with your assigned school. So all of the materials are very accessible. We'll look at a couple of them now, beginning with the 101 Ways to Green Your Schools. So you'll notice the key on the front, which includes a section for investment, highlighting whether each option would be considered a no-cost, low-cost, or potentially moderate to high-cost item. Though this initiative is developed around no or low cost, we want schools to be aware of some of the moderate to high cost items as well. Perhaps these are items that the school may want to work towards, or perhaps they'd like to use the Green Schools Quest initiative to engage students in researching one of these moderate to high cost items and how it could be implemented. Students could then present a presentation to the board of directors or engage the community and teach them about the option as well. So there are a lot of no or low cost actions that can be taken to contribute to the school eventually being able to move forward on a moderate to high cost item. For the documentation for such a project, you would simply be capturing all of those no cost activities that took place. This resource is divided into categories that are aligned with the LEED rating system, so sustainable sites, water efficiency, etc. This list that's pictured here includes items that fall under the sustainable sites category. If you look over to the right, you'll see that we've identified that even though this item is listed under sustainable sites, it also is related to some other areas. For instance, item 1 is related to energy and health. Because many of the activities are beneficial in multiple ways, we wanted to showcase the interconnectedness of these initiatives as well. Each year, USGBC Missouri Gateway's Green Schools Committee will designate a particular theme as the focus of the year. Schools have the option of following this particular focus to qualify for consideration for an additional award. Schools are not penalized if they choose not to focus on the annual theme. Themes are selected to reflect current issues, both locally and globally, and require an additional narrative to be included in the final submission packet. Specifically, it's a 150 words or less describing how the project relates to the area of focus. The 2019-20 focus of the year is environmental justice. Our Green Schools Committee has compiled a list of environmental justice project ideas and resources which we encourage you to check out and consider. Please do look at the project you have in mind through this lens, or use this as a jumping off point to determine what project your team might enter into this year. New this year is the Educator's Guide to Education for Sustainability. This guide is geared towards teachers and aims to enhance the connection between the Green Schools Quest projects and school curriculum. It highlights a handful of go-to resources for education for sustainability and whole school sustainability, including introductory guides to the concepts and practices, frameworks for applying the lens of sustainability to curriculum, teacher professional development opportunities that incorporate all three core areas that are commonly used to define a green school, and green schools frameworks, programs, and recognitions that can help schools chart a path towards whole school sustainability. It's a really excellent guide. Please do encourage any teachers you're working with to dig in and check this out. When it becomes time to do the project submission, there are a handful of items that will need to be turned in. First, they are all going to be completed through an online final submission form. So the form itself will ask some basic information about the school and project info, such as what grade levels were involved, what was your project main topic, what's a short description of the project and a title, as well as impact numbers. So how many students were involved directly in the project, and how many would you estimate were impacted overall? In addition, teams will need to upload a 1 to 2 page written report. There is no specific template for this. It is very broad, just 1 to 2 pages. I would recommend keeping the evaluation criteria in mind when you're writing this report or when this report is being put together. The next item is a maximum 5-minute video or digital presentation. It can be helpful to put together that digital presentation and then utilize that written report to fill in any holes that you might not have documented via video. You'll also need to turn in photo release forms, a school sustainability tracking survey, and then the optional narrative for the Focus of the Year award consideration if that applies to your project. We do have 2 options for the photo release forms. One would be an individual student release form in which each student's parent would sign a photo release. The other option would require just one form in which a school official certifies that they already have photo release forms on file for each of their students. This is really that second option is really a streamlined approach because a lot of schools already have these forms on file. But definitely something that you'll want to connect with your teacher about well in advance of the couple of weeks before the submissions are due, so that you're not running around trying to gather everything at that time. Here's a screenshot of the online form. It is live and available on our website at any time, so you can access it to see what information is requested. I mentioned a school sustainability tracking survey as one of the items to be turned in. This survey was introduced as a tool to begin building awareness of the holistic measures that schools can take to chart a path towards whole school sustainability. The material in the survey relates directly to a national recognition program called Green Ribbon Schools, and really it's very holistic in nature, which also means that there probably isn't one person within the school that would have the answers to all of the questions. It may involve touching base with a handful of people that play different roles within the school. With that in mind, for each item listed, there is varying degree, there's a scale that you can use from no evidence to comprehensive, as well as an option to indicate I don't know. So we don't want for this survey to become a barrier in any way for schools. So we do have that I don't know option if the time and energy is not available to really investigate the answers to these questions. But if the time is available, it's a really great opportunity to get a more holistic snapshot of the school, and it can also serve as a tool for identifying project ideas. So schools do receive an automatic 5 points for completing the survey or 0 points for not completing the survey. There is an online version that is available. We do prefer that responses be submitted through the online form, though we also have a PDF that essentially highlights everything within a one page front and back, so that you can easily use this when looking around the school and discussing with others. It's just a little bit more accessible for having a conversation around than the online form. And this can be scanned in and uploaded if needed as well. This is a picture of the rubric. It is posted on our website as well. Looking over the rubric will help you to understand some of the main items to keep in mind throughout the quest. Similar to past years, we will be engaging out-of-state judges to determine the first, second, and third place winners in elementary, middle, and high school. These judges are professionals active in green schools related work within their communities or at the national level. For the 5 additional awards, which we'll touch upon in a moment, USGBC Missouri Gateway will engage local professionals to serve as judges for the additional 5. So we're always so excited to celebrate all of the participants within the Green Schools Quest and acknowledge winners with a trophy and cash prize as well. You can see what the cash prizes are outlined here. All of the trophies are handmade glass trophies by Third Degree Glass Factory made here locally. Beyond recognizing the first, second, and third place winners, 5 additional awards with 1 recipient each will be presented across the age categories. These additional awards aim to recognize and reward a diverse set of competing schools, including those that continue to join the Green Schools Quest and improve year after year, as well as the rookies who are new to the program. These awards are Rookie of the Year, which is available solely to schools that are in their first year of participation. Sustainability Champion, aimed at recognizing the ongoing dedication and continued commitment to growth of schools that have participated for 3 or more years. Focus of the Year, Judge's Choice, and Innovation. Winners of each of these awards receive $100 cash. While this training is focused on the Green Schools Quest, I felt it would be helpful to provide some information about our Green Schools work as a whole, which we're touching upon really throughout the training. Our chapter does have a Green Schools committee that meets on the 4th Wednesday of each month. This committee helps with planning and implementing the Green Schools Quest, as well as our annual event, as well as a handful of other items that are outlined on the slide. This committee is open to any of our chapter members, as well as members of the K-12 community. If you're interested in participating, we absolutely welcome you to join us. Our annual event will be in its 13th year in 2020, and this will be the opportunity for us to celebrate all of the participants and announce the winners of the Green Schools Quest. Each June, we partner with a number of local organizations on the 3-day Sustainability Institute for Educators. This is a fabulous opportunity for teachers and administrators to learn about educating through the lens of sustainability. Please do encourage your school representatives to attend this year. Each year does have a different theme, and the theme for 2020 is Equity and Justice in a Changing Climate. The dates are June 23rd through the 25th, and you can see the hosted by organizations that are listed there and working hard on planning this event for the upcoming summer. So I mentioned the Green Ribbon Schools program earlier in the training and would like to share a little bit more about that now. This U.S. Department of Education recognition program launched during the 2011-12 school year and was modeled after the more commonly known Blue Ribbon Awards program, which recognizes academic achievement. The Green Ribbon Schools Award recognizes schools that embody exemplary practices and achievements across the 3 pillars illustrated here. It's an extremely comprehensive and high-level award that is open to all schools, public and private, on an annual basis within participating states. However, only 5 schools from each state may be nominated to the U.S. Department of Education each year. In Missouri, the nomination process is administered by the Missouri Environmental Education Association in partnership with the Missouri Department of Elementary and Secondary Education. We feel it's important to raise awareness of this program and to encourage schools to employ exemplary practices in these areas, as well as encourage them to apply for this recognition. More information about the Green Urban Schools program may be found at the MissouriGreenSchools.org website. That website is also where you'll find information about the Missouri Green Schools program, which serves as a conduit for Green Ribbon Schools recognition in the state of Missouri and will soon launch additional recognition levels, acknowledging varying degrees of accomplishments across the 3 pillars. Currently, this program offers an assessment and tracking tool which illuminates emerging, progressing, and advanced actions across a wide range of objectives within each pillar. So that is a great tool for you. It is available at this website, and stay tuned for more developments in this program within the coming year. USGBC's Center for Green Schools has developed a number of additional resources to consider. This is their website, centerforgreenschools.org. They have a handful of helpful publications, an online portal for K-12 sustainability curriculum called Learning Lab. It is a subscription-based service that costs $40 per year and has hundreds of really high-quality lesson plans. Center for Green Schools also hosts Green Apple Day of Service, which is an annual initiative that encourages parents, teachers, students, and companies to engage in local service projects at area schools. We will be registering each of the Green Schools Quest schools as a Green Apple Day of Service activity. The mygreenapple.org website is also a great resource for project ideas. USGBC is also co-host of the National Green Schools Conference and Expo, which travels to a different state each year and will be held in Portland, Oregon in 2020. And the center collaborates with the U.S. Department of Education on the Green Strides website pictured here. This is another website, again filled with helpful resources and a webinar series. So as we near the end of the training, I'd like to share some last project tips with you. First of all, consider the current school resources as well as ongoing maintenance. So we want to be sure that these projects are living on well past the conclusion of the Green Schools Quest. And to do so, it's going to be very important to think about the ongoing maintenance required. Encourage the Green Team to share their efforts with the whole school. We do have some tips on communication that are posted on the website, so take a look at those. The third item listed in bold states that this must be a new project or major expansion of existing efforts. So keep in mind, this initiative is not about documenting things that have already been done in the school. We're not looking back at the past. Rather, we're looking ahead. It's about moving a new project forward or majorly expanding on an existing effort. So it is fine to expand as long as you're just taking action to move forward rather than solely looking back. We encourage you to think about the evaluation criteria as you plan. Utilize your community resources. There are so many wonderful resources out there that are available to you. We've compiled a list of just some to get you started. Please do reach out to other organizations and engage them as well. Take pictures and videos throughout the year, and remember to have those photo releases signed. And document the dollar savings, as well as resource savings, really, and impact numbers. We want for the schools to be thinking about how many units of resources they're saving. What was the carbon reduction, or how many tons of waste are they diverting? These types of measurements of resources, as well as any dollar documentation and number of people they've impacted, are really important in helping to tell the story of the great work that they've done. On the left of the screen, you'll see an image of a participant decal. This is a static cling, roughly 10 inches in diameter, that each school will receive. We pass these along to our mentors to bring to their schools, and we encourage schools to place their decal in a window at the front of their school. There's also a smaller decal that has the year of participation, which can be displayed next to the large decal. So as schools participate over and over again, they can continue adding stickers representing all of the years that they've participated. These will be sent out in the mail along with a packet of some of these other printed resources for any mentors who were not available for the in-person mentor trainings. I mentioned earlier that all of these resources are available to you electronically, and now is a great time for you to dig into those. Please do open the digital files that are accessible via that welcome letter and on our website. I also particularly encourage you to take 15 or 20 minutes right now to open up the final submissions from past winning teams. They truly are inspiring, astonishing. They'll really help you to get a better sense of what the end goal is regarding documentation as well, and get the wheels spinning on how you and your team might approach doing this. We'll also send, so you've all received that welcome letter at this point, so now comes time to dig in. Many of the past submissions that are in video format are also available on our YouTube channel, and we have submission summaries from each past year that have a short little snippet of descriptions of past projects, which can be helpful to help see how they really run the gamut as well. So best wishes on all that lies ahead, and thank you again for your participation. Keep in touch with any questions along the way.